Hey curl friends, welcome back to the Frizzandfrillzz channel. My name is Chloe, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe if you're looking for curly tips, tutorials, and tricks. I know it has been a while though if you have been here for a bit, okay? So it's been a couple months since I've been on my channel. We've had a lot going on, honestly. If you are new here and you didn't realize, I started a brand called Curlfriend Collective back in November, and it has taken on a whole life of its own, which has been incredible. And actually, you're gonna get to meet one of my team members today, Miss Cassie, and she's gonna be helping us with a really fun video, as you saw from the title of the video. So let's go ahead and get Miss Cassie over here. Oh, hey girl, come on in.
Hey, how's it going?
So, if you guys are not familiar with Cassie's channel, she is absolutely adorable and she does a lot of curly hair content as well. You can kind of tell them if you'd like about your channel a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a curly girl, and I like to make silly videos and reels and all that kind of stuff over on my page, Cassie May Love.
Her videos, like all her reels, they have so much fun personality and they're so cute and they're so just like, I feel they're just very much so your personality of just like fun and lighthearted. And seriously, I know you're like, oh no. But seriously, they're so cute. You need to check her out. But she is gonna be picking out my curly hair routine today, okay? I don't change up my curly hair routine very much other than my products that I do a lot of reviews for you guys on. But she's gonna be picking out all of my stylers today. And what is the kind of routine we're gonna try as far as like the styling method?
Sophie Marie Curly. It's her technique. It's called the flip section method. I love Sophie.
Sophie's adorable, by the way. I'll pop her up here really quick. She's freaking cute.
She's the best. I love her. And I really love that technique, and it always gives me like great.
What is it called again?
Flip section technique.
Because section
technique. It's just called the flip section method.
Okay. Flip section method. I might have to do some tweaks to make it work perfectly for my type of hair, and we'll kind of walk you through as we're doing this routine of why these products might work well together, or why this routine might need to be like changed up a little bit, or why this routine works really well for certain hair types. So we'll walk through all of that, but let's go ahead and go pick the products out on the product wall. Welcome to the wall. So let's pick some products. Okay, which ones are we gonna pick?
Okay, so let's see here. You said you like a lot of moisture.
I do.
And I keep seeing bread, and I
love that hair cream.
I want to see how it does. So I'm gonna pick this, and then a cream gel. We're gonna do Imbue.
Beautiful. I love it.
And then to make sure we got a good amount of hold, we're gonna go in with the Shine Gel, this very strong hold one. And then, because I know you like hair oil, the Verb Ghost Oil. So,
well, I think we got a pretty good stack of products here.
I do too. I'm like, this is a pretty nice lineup. I want to make sure everything works together before I put it like on Chloe's hair. So I'm just gonna this is how I test it. I like put everything on my hand, and then I see how they like mix together. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, yeah. That's a beautiful matchup.
Yeah, they didn't like clump at all, so it's nice and smooth, so those will all work together.
Okay, so now that we've picked all of our products, I am gonna go wash my hair real quick. This is gonna be a styling routine video, so I will be right back with wet hair. And we're back. Okay, so my hair is fully washed, very wet, and ready to try this flip section method?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. My hair is very thick, it's very coarse, it's very dense. So when her and I were talking about this earlier, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to probably section this up a little bit more. I'm probably going to have to do a couple things are a little bit different compared to what she has to do for her hair. Because your hair is, would you say like medium?
Yeah, I have like
density?
medium hair, but I could do like
Medium.
2 sections.
Medium.
Medium.
Okay, so how are we going to start doing this? Do I apply this all at the same time? Am I going to apply it in different sections? How do I do this?
So we're going to do like each section. We're going to do each product in the order that we want to do them. So that way it's all even through all of the hair.
And normally I do apply all my products all at once and then I section and then, so this will be interesting to see if we get more definition out of a routine like this. But I'm not going to do as much finger coiling. Even though you guys know I love my finger coiling, I'm probably only gonna finger coil like a few pieces that just really need it. So now you said you normally do 3 sections?
Yeah, I normally do 3 sections. So I'll like do top, middle, bottom.
Okay, we're nice and center. We've got both of us in the frame. So now we're gonna flip, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can, but do you feel like that's gonna suffocate you? Because Alexa, who has a lot of hair, she doesn't flip her head upside down because it would suffocate her. So, because she has so much hair.
She does. She has a lot of density.
Yeah, she does.
I'll put up a picture of Alexa here. She's freaking gorgeous. You should follow her. I love her.
Yeah. When you do your hair, how do you like get it to clump together? Do you not focus on that?
So normally I go through and I finger comb basically all my products through, and then I go through with a brush. So this is my Tangle Teezer, trusty Tangle Teezer Ultimate Detangler. It's my favorite brush of all time. If you guys missed it earlier, we are doing the Bread hair cream. This has been one of my favorites recently. It smells really good. You can see it's overall, I mean, it is a fairly thick, I know it's trying to pull both of our faces. It's a pretty thick cream, but I've really enjoyed it, especially for the summer months. So this much is about how much we're gonna apply, and then I'll kind of go back. So this is truly just my little small back under the nape of my neck section. So we've got our cream, and we're just going to apply that. Normally what I would do is I would bring in my curl cream and I would finger comb it through. And then I would bring in my next product, which this one's a cream gel. So then I would do the same application method, and then I'd go through with my gel and do the same thing. And then I would go through and comb it and get all my proper curl clumps and everything. So that's how I would normally do it. So this is the Imbue Cream Gel. I've been using this for 2 or 3 years. I really, really like it. I know the sound. The sound is not great.
Yeah. What I like to do is when I use stuff that's like the really heavy hold, like I'm gonna scrunch it in instead of raking it in. That's what I usually do. I'm using this much, and she's a thick gel. So I'm gonna add a little water in my hands just to make sure it spreads out a little bit more evenly.
Beautiful.
Your curl pattern is like so like tightly curled. Wow. Wow.
Yep. Oops.
Get
a little squish.
Get that squishity squish. I'm like, that's how you usually do it, right?
Yeah, and then I'll squish, and then once it kind of gets to a point where I like it, then I'll go in with normally a towel, a hair towel, and then get out any of that excess moisture so that I decrease my dry time. Because my hair is so thick and so there's just so much of it, the dry time is always a long time, so anything I can do to decrease that is always super helpful. Okay, so her and I just talked, and we realized, number one, my hair is very, very thick. She was shocked by how thick it was. Because you don't realize, honestly, like my hair looks thick, yes, in pictures and video, but you don't realize until you touch it how coarse it is. And so I was telling her, if we don't get up in here, and actually let me get a little closer to the camera, I'll show you. If you don't get up in here, you can see all these really thick clumps, but they're not really, they're not clumping together the way they need to, because if they were to dry like that, they're gonna be clumped in a really weird cluster that we won't be able to pull apart without it getting super, super frizzy on top of it. So I have to make sure that I get really close up into the root and work through and brush in almost small vertical sections across the larger section. So I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Water is key. And then I'm gonna brush through the entire section and just really make sure that I get everything in there. Because the smoother it is when you're styling, the smoother it's gonna be and the less frizzy it's gonna be later on when dry. So now we've got this like nice thick, normally if I can get it like to look pull straight, it's probably about right. So now I'm going to just pull out this bottom little section of the section, because those are those little ones, you know, that tend to get really tangly and they tend to have a lot more breakage. So I'm just gonna pop this up here for the time being.
Okay.
Here, if you wanna
Clip it.
clip me. So I'm just gonna finger coil these bottom two little curls. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna just section these two. And we're gonna brush from root to tip until I feel like I got a nice smoothness, and then we're gonna smooth it out. And then leave it. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here with this little section and smooth it out. And leave it.
Oh wow, look at that. Beautiful.
I know, so cute. So cute. And so now I'm just gonna go in, get a little squishy scrunchy. I'm gonna grab about that much extra gel, and then I'm going to just literally run it and kind of like rope it through, and then I'm gonna scrunch it back in. And then that's gonna help add just a little bit of extra seal onto my curls. So now we've got our little towel, and by doing this, before I move on to the next section, this is gonna help give that first section a little head start on drying. And notice I'm not doing a lot of movement. I'm literally just I'm disrupting it as little as possible. All right, so we're moving through to the next section. What I think we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna go from this section, we're gonna move up to the next section, one more section, and then I will split this into probably 1, 2, 3. So there will be 1, 2, 3 sections on top, and we'll kind of style it as normal. With these 3 products. But instead, one of the biggest, I think, differences from what my normal routine here is that I'm actually applying my products in each section in order versus applying all my products right away and then going through the sections. That's what I'm seeing as the biggest difference. And so I feel like we will probably get better product application through especially my back part. That normally, a lot of times, and I'm sure you guys feel this, is that your back part normally gets a little less love because you can't see it and you don't really know what's going on back there as well. Pause the fast forward. I'm going to show you anything around these areas. They tend to get the frizziest fastest, so I always finger coil those. And resume the fast forward. All right, so now we've got a good amount of product on here. We're moving on up, and I'm just gonna keep on moving into each section with vertical, smaller sections within. And all I'm doing is just doing basically a brush styling method and running it through with my fingers directly after, and then letting it fall. And so the other thing I realized that we are not doing that I normally do is that I am not finger coiling except for a few pieces, like I kind of mentioned earlier in the video. That is really the main difference here in the product application technique. So once I'm done with that section, again, I am gonna go through and I'm going to give it a nice little scrunch. And then we are going to bring in our towel and we're just holding that in there as minimal movement as possible. I probably can save 15 minutes of dry time by just doing that. And for my hair, that's a really big deal because I would be sitting here for almost an hour, 45 minutes versus 25 to 30 minutes. So we just finished the back section and now we're gonna move to the front, and we're getting a little bit drier.
Yeah.
So we are going to go ahead and this section I'm going to put into 3 because this is the section that's a little bit more finicky and it really does need that finger coiling aspect to make sure it gets really nice and pulled together and less frizzy as the days go by. Because if you've been on my channel, you know, thank you so much. You know that I like to wear my hair for like 5 to 7 days before I wash it again. And Cassie's now learning why that is.
Yeah, it's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair and it takes a lot of time and it's just, yeah, it's more of a beast than you think it is. What is your favorite thing about content creating?
What I love about the curly space is how much everyone just wants to help each other and feel confident in themselves.
Yes.
And I love that as well. Like, anytime that anybody, like, DMs me a picture of their hair and they're like, this is, like, what my hair looks like now that I've, like, followed your advice. And, like,
Isn't that the best?
Yeah. They're like, I didn't
best.
believe, like, my hair could look better than this. And even if I just show them that their hair is beautiful, like, even if that's just all I can show them, and, like, maybe they go get a haircut and that makes the biggest difference, it, like, that's, to me, like, the best thing that I could help with is, like, help that self-confidence. Like, your hair's worth learning how to style it.
Yes, I cannot agree with that more. Like, being in this niche that you would call the curly hair community, it is the best feeling being with people who have gone through the same kind of things growing up and not knowing where they kind of like fit in, not seeing themselves, you know, in the media. You saw everybody with straight hair, you saw everybody with blonde, stick straight hair, and then you were basically told that your hair was ugly. The media really messed us up in the early 2000s, let me tell you.
Yeah, they didn't do us any favors.
Okay, we're down to the last section.
Yay!
Woo! Okay, so as I am finger pulling, I'm going to section again into some smaller section into smaller sections. Take this. We could leave that be, and it's got some nice little curl clumps.
Yeah.
But if we want to section that a little bit closer, we're just going to I go in with my thumb, separate, 1, 2, 3, and out. And then it's really important that when you're finding those on the scalp, that you find the hair that is closest to each other on the scalp, so that you don't have a lot of frizz. You minimize that frizz by the scalp as well. People ask me all the time, what way should I do it? I see some tutorials sometimes where I feel like people overcomplicate it. It doesn't need to be that complicated. You know, if you're like, oh, but like which way is the natural curl falling, and do I need to go this one way and then like analyze it and then try it the other way and then analyze it? It's not that deep. So your curls will be fine either way. If you find that you finger coil it and it goes straight, go the other way. And that's the only time, and that's probably only gonna be a handful of curls on your head that just need a little extra TLC, not every single one. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go dry my hair, and then we will be back with both of our hair styled and do a full review. And we are back, both fully styled. And you guys, I think we learned actually quite a bit as we were working through my curls today. And you got to see a lot of that as we were styling. But what was really interesting is we used the same products, but her and I style a little bit differently because we have very different textures. And it was really interesting to try the way she styles her hair on my hair. And so I actually ended up doing, you know, the front pieces, and she ended up doing a lot more of the back pieces. And so it was really interesting to see kind of what the difference was depending on how much product was used and the styling method. Something that we both learned with the very thick, coarse hair, it really does need that little bit of extra moisture and a little bit of extra manipulation just so that those curls can find each other a little bit more easily. Yeah. What were your thoughts while you were styling my hair?
Well, I was like, first of all, I was like, oh, this is way more hair than my hair. I was like, this is a lot of hair. And also, like, you use so much more hair product than me. But
and it doesn't look like it, right?
Yeah, I mean, your hair just, like, sucks it up. The whole, like, finger coiling thing, I was like, yeah, I could tell like more how big of a difference that made in your hair.
Yeah, it's actually kind of wild when you see it right next to each other, what kind of difference it makes. So if we can teach you anything today, it's to always try different techniques, because you never know what's really gonna work for you until you try those techniques, you try those different amounts of products, and don't write that product off right away. Now, we also did another video on Cassie's channel, and so I styled her curls, and you'll get to see how I did that and kind of some of the manipulation that we tried a few different ways to get some tighter curl patterns. We did get a little bit more frizz than sometimes she gets as well. But anyways, go check out her channel. I have it linked below as well as up here. And until next time, guys, I will be around a lot more often as of now. So thank you for being here. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of my curly tutorials, tips, and tricks. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye!